I want to teach to you, and I'm here at Loyalhanna again. I was here last week, the week before. Very dry, summertime, very low. Got a fear this is a stream that the flood stage is up to the road, and right now is about the driest it gets, probably about down to a trickle. So if you're a trout fisherman, you got to think about several things about the psychology of a trout. Don't know if you ever did that before, but I kind of always had growing up. But a trout has a certain psychology. Look at the surroundings here a little bit. Okay, you got the mainstream; it's pretty warm. You got this cold stream that comes down off the mountain under the road. It's a couple degrees colder than the rest of it, so that's where the trout are going to be. You know, that cold stream is a trickle too. So I'm going to look at this area and I'm going to see a couple things. Some people are going to come in and they're going to throw a line right in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come from above because the cold stream is going to flow downhill. And when it does, all the trout will be down there or in this area. So if I come from below, I'm going to scare them. Came from above, I'm on this rock on higher ground, they're not going to see me as a threat. So, let's have a look at our surroundings here again with this camera lens. So, I'm looking at a flowing stream. The water's warm as piss. And yeah, there could be a few out there in their current. Brown trout, they like warmer weather, warmer water. Doesn't faze them. But a rainbow trout or a brook trout, if it's out in there too long, it'll kill them. So they need this cold water. So if this were deeper, which it used to be when I was younger, you could, it was over my head in here. I'm going to look at my surroundings here. So there's cold water coming into this pool right here. I'll give you a better view. Give you a better view of that. There's cold water coming in this pool under this big rock. The mainstream's coming here. This is going to be colder. So I've got a couple locations to look at. I've got trout should be in here laying. But why are they not? And why do I not see any trout sitting in here? Well, number one, if it was a deeper hole, the trout would be right in here. They'd be laying deep in here because they know they're not vulnerable to a bigger fish. They know they're not vulnerable to anything. Maybe a muskrat or a human, but they might be right there by that rock where it's deeper because I'm seeing that the water flowing out along that other rock. There's a deep hole in there. Imagine that flat rock is right up in there. Very beautiful little fish, isn't it? The flat rock is pretty hollow underneath. So I'm going to look at it a little bit better. I'm going to think about it from the psychology a trout would have. Am I good or what? Let's give a good look at that whole stream up here. Like if you're a trout, you're worried about a big bird coming down and grabbing you. So you're going to be hiding under a rock. And you're probably going to be under this one. Used to be deep under that one. That's crazy. That one used to be deep. That one. That one. That flat one right there that's kind of sharp on the edges. This blows my mind. This used to be so deep in here. Right in this area used to be so deep you couldn't even stand up. It's really filled in a lot, but that used to be a great spot right there. So now they don't have all the spots they used to. They only have this and this and this. So they're probably going to be right there, and in this backwater if they can, under either of these two rocks right here. So we'll look and see if we can spawn any of them. I saw a minnow swim under that rock, so I know that probably a trout in there. This right here, I have polarized glasses on so I can see in the water, but you can't. There's a trout sitting on the edge of that. And there's probably one back in there. Here I can see the water circling around, so I know there's warmer water coming in. That's probably going to limit the amount of trout that are going to be under that rock right there. So it's going to probably be right here, right here, right here, and right here. So if I'm fly fishing, if I'm going to catch them with a fly, I'm going to go up here on these rocks, or on that one. Even that one's great. That one's really great right there. And I'm going to throw a fly at this area here. Let it float down. Probably a dry fly. Even a woolly bugger would work. And try for these areas where the fish is going to be waiting and going to want to come out if it's going to be hungry. And that's where you're going to get that fish. And one of the great things about a fly is you can use a barbless hook, and if you catch him, you can leave him go and you're not hurting the fish. Another great spot is right down in under here in that shade. The water might be a little bit cooler. They might be in that current right here, the rapids. The psychology of knowing the animal is, especially when you don't keep them like I do anymore, you're not going to be looking for food, is just appreciating the intelligence of the animal and doing it that way. Another great thing you can do is use live bait like a waxworm or something like that on a barbless hook. It's small. What that does is allows the fish to get a meal if you lose it, if you lose the bait. Because that's really what I like doing. I like even coming down sometimes with food and just feeding them and just watching, just to watch the beauty of their colors and to see them come a long way from being a trout fisherman that used to fish up here with my dad and catch all the trouts. So there you go. Just some trout fishing wisdom.